Hello, hello, Genial Gamer Gal here, back with another video. And this is a collection update for my Super Nintendo and Super Famicom collection. I'm gonna do the two systems together. Super Famicom was the Japanese version of the Super Nintendo, so I decided to just put them in one video instead of making two separate ones. And now, without further ado, let's dive right in and see what I have collected so far. Okay, we are going to start off with my cartridge-only games, so here we go. Mortal Kombat. I mean, who hasn't played Mortal Kombat? On this system and arcades, hours and hours playing Mortal Kombat. Just, you know, have to have the game. Earthworm Jim. Pretty fun platforming game. I do need to replace this copy at some point though, because the back label was missing when I bought it, but I wanted the game, it wasn't too expensive, so I grabbed it, but a replacement at some point in time. Castlevania 4. I mean, what can I say? It's a Castlevania game, so Super Nintendo Castlevania game, had to have it. It is a pretty good game, so if you don't have it, you do need to grab it if you like Castlevania games. I do recommend it. It is pretty fun. Tough like usual Castlevania games, but they are pretty fun. Super R-Type. No, not the Third Lightning. I wish I had that one, but that one has gotten expensive, so I just picked up Super R-Type. Pretty fun. 2D side-scrolling shooter. I love it. It's fun. Turtles 4, Turtles in Time. Had to get the Turtles game on the Super Nintendo. Spent a ton of hours playing this. Love it, love it, love it. Turtles are definitely one of my favorite games. Pluck. I had never in a million years heard of this game, and I think it came in, I think I got it in a lot or something, and it's a platforming game where you throw your body parts. Yeah, so you have 2 hands, 2 feet, you throw them at the enemy in order to defeat them, and then you have to wait for them to come back. So in the meantime, you're like this vulnerable blob moving slowly across the screen as you wait for your hands and feet to return. So pretty quirky, but it's actually pretty good. So if you're looking for a quirky platformer, I'd say go for that one. Street Fighter 2 Turbo. Star Fox. I mean, has it aged well? No, but I mean, it's Star Fox. How can you not have it? First experience with Star Fox, just had to grab it for the Super Nintendo. F-Zero. Oh gosh, played this game for many hours when I was a kid, so definitely had to grab this. By the way, I forgot to mention, none of these games are from my childhood. They were all lost and destroyed, so unfortunately I've had to buy back all of my Super Nintendo games, so yeah, oh well. Super Mario World. I mean, awesome game. Absolutely loved it. Another one I played hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. Absolutely loved this game. Played it with my siblings all the time. As well as Super Mario All-Stars. Played this hours and hours and hours. This was a compilation of Super Mario Brothers 1, 2, and 3 and The Lost Levels, which was actually supposed to be Super Mario Brothers 2, but they changed it for the North American release because they thought it was too hard. And actually that game is really hard, but it's in that compilation. Alright, that is all of my cart-only games. So let's take a look at my one and only North American boxed games. So here it is. probably not what you're expecting, I know. Mario Paint, complete inbox. I very, 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 very rarely find complete inbox Super Nintendo games, so when I saw this just sitting in the store a while back, I just had to go ahead and pick it up. And I had never, ever, ever played this at all as a kid, so I was pretty excited to have this around and just mess around with it. So it does have the mouse and the mouse pad, so yeah, everything is completely in this box. And I mean, the box has some rips and tears and things, but I was still pretty excited that I have this one in my collection. And I would like to get more Super Nintendo boxed games, but I mean, they are just so big, it's really hard for me to fit them on my teeny tiny shelf. So it's kind of why I collect mostly the Super Famicom ones, but happy to have this one. Maybe in the future I will get some other ones. I need to find a place to put this. Okay. All right, let's have a look at my Super Famicom boxed games. I don't have any Super Famicom loose. They're all in the box. And the reason I have Super Famicom is, well, they're cheaper. So they're a little smaller than the North American Super Nintendo boxes, and they're also a little bit, well, some of the cases they're a lot cheaper. The only downside is, yeah, they're in Japanese. So if you're wondering, hey GGG, how in the world do you play all these games if you don't read Japanese? I play them on the Retron 5 to be exact, and I can load a translation patch, which turns them into English. So I really can't complain. I know some people are like, oh, Retron 5 is junk, which it's not the greatest system, but it lets me play Japanese games in English, so it fits my needs. All right, enough yammering, let's go on. So, Super Famicom games, here we go. I have Mother 2, which is Earthbound. That was crazy expensive in the box. The North American version. Japanese version, not so much. Mostly because that's an RPG game, so it's text heavy. Definitely have to have a translation patch for that one. Then I have this one, which was upside down. This is Illusion of Gaia, I believe. I have not played this yet. It's just chilling. By the way, these are in no particular order. I'm just kind of grabbing them. Dragon Quest VI. This is The Mystical Ninja. Never ever heard of this game, but this is a pretty fun, I think this was a platforming game if I remember correctly. I haven't played this too much, but it is pretty good. Final Fantasy V. And I believe I have 4 and 6 on the way. I don't think I have those yet, but they should be coming in the mail sometime soon. Yoshi's Island. Pretty fun, colorful game. I love this. Did not play too much of this as a kid, but I did pick this up later on in life, and it's really fun. So I was really glad to have that to be able to play. All right, this is Fire Emblem. I had to think for a second because there's 2 of them. This is Fire Emblem Genealogy of Holy Wars, I think is what it's called. It's totally in Japanese, but I'm pretty sure that's what it's called. Definitely Fire Emblem for sure. Some of these I might need to write the names on them so I don't forget. Might be a good idea. All right, that is one stack. Let me grab the other stack. All right, next we have, actually I'm gonna show all 3. Well, they call them Super Donkey Kong, but we know them as Donkey Kong Country 1, 2, and 3. So I have all 3. Grab them in the Japanese version because, like I said, they were a little bit cheaper. So that's why I grabbed them that way. but I have all 3. Probably the most I played was 2. Played the heck out of that one. And we have Elnard. Elnard? I think that's how you say it. I have no idea. Anyway, in North America, this is known as 7th Saga. And I mean, look at that art. I just love the Japanese art style. It's pretty cool on some of them. So different from the North American ones. So I grabbed the Japanese ones too. All right, moving along, we have Super Mario RPG. Oh, awesome, awesome game. Known as, well, not Super Mario RPG. It's known as, oh gosh, I forgot the North American name. It's something of the 7 stars. Oh, terrible, terrible. That's what happens. I have these in Japanese and then I forget what they're actually called because I have them in Japanese. I will put the name down there. It's Legend of the 7 Stars or something like that. Anyway, no matter what the title is, it is pretty fun to play. If you don't have it, you definitely need to grab it. So fun. All right, this next one, don't yell at me. Chrono Trigger, but I haven't really played it very much. I just haven't had a chance. I mean, oh gosh, so good game. I've heard so many things about, so many great things about it. I just have not had time to sink into it like a lot of my games. I really need to like make a list and set time aside and say, all right, I'm gonna play some of this, I'm gonna play some of this, and sadly that has not happened yet, so maybe at some point I'll get to doing that. All right, here is my last stack. So, Legend of Zelda, A Link to the Past. I almost said Link Between Worlds, but that's the 3DS one. The SNES one, the Super Nintendo, is A Link to the Past. I almost said it wrong again. So, yeah, I mean, pretty fun Legend of Zelda game. I actually have not beaten this one. It's hard for me to play some of these Zelda games. They're so long and I need time to do it. So then when I play it and then I don't have time to play it, I forget what the heck I'm doing when I go back to it. Alrighty, next. This is Super Bonk. I had never heard of this game in a million years, but I saw it, I think it was just browsing eBay, and I'm like, sure, why not? And it's actually a pretty fun little platforming game. And we have Secret of Mana. This has a 2 on it because they actually have, I think, 3 of them in their series there. I don't remember what they called it, but this over here was known as Secret of Mana, so I picked this one up. And these, I have 2, Super Bomberman 1 and 2. Picked up both of them. I mean, not that there's anything really special about each of them, but I just had two of the Super Bomberman games, or yeah, Super Bomberman? I think it's called Super Bomberman. And we have, here is, I need to scoot this out of the way. It's ruining my camera shot. All right, this one is the other Fire Emblem game, and this is Mystery of the Emblem. Have not played this one yet, but Fire Emblem games are fun. They are long though, again, long, but they are fun. And they're actually a little tricky because I'm not very good at strategy, tactical kind of things, but they are fun. I do like it. And the final game I have is Super Metroid, which I don't know if it was called Super Metroid in North America. Again, I have the Japanese versions and then I forget the names of the North American ones. But anyway, this is Metroid for the Super Nintendo, and this was probably the most expensive one I paid for in the Japanese version, but usually they're around cheap. I think this was around 50 or 60 bucks. So usually I don't pay that much, but it's Super Metroid and the box looks awesome. Pretty sick. So just had to grab it. All right, there you have it. That wraps up my Super Nintendo / Super Famicom game collection update for 2020. Let me know which games you have for the Super Nintendo and which games you've played on the system, which games you like, which games you don't like. All right, everyone, thanks for watching and have a good one. Hey, thanks for checking out my video. If you enjoyed it or found it helpful, please hit that like button and consider subscribing to my channel. You can also find me on Twitter and Instagram @GenialGamerGal. Also, be sure to check out other gaming videos on my channel, including collections, pickups, unboxings, reviews, and news. I'll see you in the next one.